Imagine this. It's 6:45 p.m. The last patient left almost 30 minutes ago. Your team has already gone home, but you're still sitting in front of your computer, writing patient notes, updating treatment records, trying to remember exactly what happened during an appointment you finished hours ago. Sound familiar? Here's the frustrating part. You didn't spend years in dental school just to become a full-time data entry specialist. But for many dentists, documentation quietly steals hours every single week, and those hours add up. More time behind a computer, more unfinished notes at the end of the day, more stress, and less time for your patients, your family, or yourself. Now, when I say AI can help you save hours every week, I'm not talking about cutting corners. I'm not talking about letting software make clinical decisions. And I'm definitely not saying you should stop reviewing patient records. I'm talking about something much simpler, using AI to eliminate repetitive administrative work while keeping you completely in control. Because AI isn't replacing the dentist, it's helping the dentist spend less time typing and more time doing what only a dentist can do. So today, let's look at 3 practical ways AI can make patient documentation faster, more consistent, and much less frustrating. Let's start with the first one. Think about what happens after every appointment. The patient leaves. You remove your gloves, walk to the computer, open the patient record, write your findings, document the treatment, add recommendations, record post-operative instructions. Then prepare for the next patient. It might only take a few minutes, but you're doing it 10, 15, maybe 20 times a day. Those few minutes quickly become hours. And the problem isn't documentation itself. Accurate patient records are essential. The problem is how much repetitive work goes into creating them. That's where AI voice-to-chart can make a difference. Imagine finishing a procedure. Instead of sitting at the computer and typing everything manually, you simply speak. You describe the treatment, your clinical findings, the materials used, your observations, and the post-operative instructions. The AI takes that information, organizes it, and creates a structured draft of the clinical note. Then you review it, make any corrections, approve it, and move on. That's it. The AI prepares the draft. You remain responsible for the final record, and that's a very important distinction. AI isn't replacing your clinical judgment. It's replacing repetitive typing. But there's another benefit that's easy to overlook. Momentum. Every time you stop treatment, walk to the computer, and start typing, your clinical rhythm gets interrupted. Voice charting can help you capture information while it's still fresh in your mind. Less interruption, less administrative fatigue, and a smoother clinical day. Now let's move to the second opportunity. Intelligent data integration. Think about everything you record during a typical appointment. Radiographs, periodontal measurements, existing restorations, treatment findings, medical history, procedure details. A lot of this information already exists somewhere inside your digital systems, but sometimes you still have to enter the same information manually. Maybe once, maybe twice, sometimes even 3 times. That's a huge hidden inefficiency. AI-supported integrations can help organize information from connected systems and prepare it for your patient record, depending on the software your clinic uses. Instead of constantly switching between windows, copying information, and typing the same details again, the workflow becomes much more connected. Less manual entry, fewer repetitive steps, and fewer opportunities for simple data entry mistakes. Think about it. Your expertise is valuable. Your time is valuable. Spending that time copying information from one screen to another isn't where your expertise creates the most value. Now there's a third piece that can make the whole process even smoother. Smart documentation templates. Most dental practices already use templates, but many templates are either too generic or too rigid. You end up editing almost every note anyway. Modern AI-assisted systems can take a different approach. Instead of giving you a completely empty page or forcing you to use the exact same template for every patient, AI can help generate a structured draft based on the procedure, the information you've provided, and your preferred documentation style. The result can be a note that's more organized, more relevant, and faster to review. But remember, it's still a draft. You review it. You verify the clinical information. And you approve the final record. AI accelerates the process. It doesn't take responsibility for it. Now let's talk about the part that really matters. Time savings. Imagine you're able to save just 4 minutes on each patient record. 4 minutes doesn't sound like much, but if you see 10 patients a day, that's around 40 minutes. Over 5 clinical days, that's more than 3 hours. And that's before counting the paperwork you no longer need to finish after clinic hours. Your actual results will depend on your workflow, patient volume, and the technology you use. But the principle is simple. Small improvements, repeated every day, can create significant savings over time. So how do you actually introduce AI into your practice? Here's where many clinics make a mistake. They buy several AI tools at once. New software, new dashboards, new passwords, new workflows. Everyone has something new to learn. And instead of becoming more efficient, the clinic becomes more complicated. Don't do that. Start with one workflow, master it. Then move to the next. If documentation is your biggest problem, AI voice-to-chart can be a practical starting point because the benefit can become noticeable quickly. Once your team is comfortable, then explore integrations. Then smarter templates, one improvement at a time. Your goal isn't to use the most AI. Your goal is to remove the biggest source of wasted time, and your team matters just as much as the technology. Don't introduce new software and expect everyone to understand it immediately. Explain why you're doing it. Tell your team the real goal. We want to spend less time on paperwork and more time with patients. That changes the conversation. When people understand the purpose behind the technology, they're much more likely to support it. And there's one rule you should never compromise on. Always review AI-generated documentation before approving it. Every clinical finding should be verified. Every treatment note should be checked. And the final record should be approved by the treating clinician. Think of AI as a very fast assistant, not an independent clinician. The software organizes information. Your professional judgment completes the process. Now, how do you know whether the investment is actually working? Don't simply ask, "Do we like the software?" Look at measurable results. Are patient notes taking less time? Is documentation more consistent? Has after-hours paperwork decreased? Are dentists finishing their day on time more often? Is your team spending less time on repetitive administrative work? Those are the numbers that matter. Because if a tool doesn't improve your workflow, it's not really an investment. It's just another monthly subscription. And there's a bigger reason all of this matters. Dentists don't need more technology just for the sake of technology. They need more time for the work that actually requires their expertise. Every minute spent typing routine notes, copying information, or catching up on paperwork after hours is a minute you're not spending with your patients. AI won't eliminate every administrative task, but it can remove many of the repetitive ones. And when those small improvements happen every day, the results can become significant. Less paperwork, less frustration, more consistency, more time with patients, and potentially a healthier work-life balance. So if you're thinking about bringing AI into your dental practice, don't start by asking, "What's the most popular AI tool?" Ask a better question. "Which task wastes the most time in my clinic?" Start there. Solve one problem. Measure the results. Train your team. Then improve the next workflow. That's how sustainable AI adoption works. Not overnight. Not by buying 10 different platforms, but one smart improvement at a time. Let's quickly recap. First, AI voice-to-chart can turn your spoken clinical information into a structured draft for review. Second, intelligent data integration can reduce repetitive manual entry by helping information move more efficiently between connected systems. And third, smart documentation templates can help create structured drafts that fit your workflow while keeping you in control of the final record. None of these tools replace your expertise. They simply remove unnecessary administrative work. And that's the real opportunity. The goal of AI isn't to make dentists work faster. The goal is to give dentists more time to be dentists. Now, I'd love to hear from you. What's the biggest documentation challenge in your clinic? Writing clinical notes? Updating patient records? Voice dictation? Or catching up on paperwork after a busy day? Leave your answer in the comments below. And if you found this video helpful, give it a thumbs up. Subscribe for more practical videos about dental AI, automation, digital dentistry, and smarter dental practice workflows. Thanks for watching. And remember, the smartest use of AI isn't replacing people. It's giving skilled people more time to do what they do best. I'll see you in the next video.